So tell us a little bit about some of the other animals on the farm, such as the cow right over here.
Well, Callie the cow actually came from Western Mass, and she actually came from, it was a nursery of sorts, and she was put into one of the equipment sheds, and the equipment fell on top of her, and a lady that went to buy some plants heard a calf crying, and she asked somebody what that was all about, and they finally found the calf under the heavy equipment.
Wow.
They got her out. She did have some injuries, and that lady nursed her back to health, and long story short, she ended up here, which is a good thing. Soon she'll be going out with the other cows now that she's big enough to do that. But before she was too small. But she's a brown Swiss. We have mostly Jersey rescues, but she's a brown Swiss. And she's just a sweet, sweet cow.
Now all of these animals are rescue animals, right? They find their way to you somehow or another.
Most of them are. There are very few that were here even before we were a sanctuary, and they're just here to live out their lives.
Great. Now we have a little dwarf horse here, miniature dwarf horse. His name is Lucky. Can you tell us a little bit about Lucky?
Well, he came from a breeder who was going to let him die. They had left him just by the base of a tree, and when we saw him, we saw he had a very bloated stomach and he was skin and bones, so we asked what they were going to do with him, and they told us they were going to let him die. And so we asked if we could take him, which we did, and we nursed him back to health, got rid of the parasites, put some weight on him. He does have dwarf issues as far as his coffin bones don't sit like the normal bones in a horse's front feet. They turn off to the side, so when his hooves grow out, we have to chop the hooves off with a hacksaw. They can't be trimmed in a normal fashion. So
does that hurt him at all, or?
It doesn't hurt. It's like cutting your fingernails as long as you know where to cut. Obviously, if we cut too short, then yes, it would hurt him. But it's like cutting your fingernails. It's just that his don't go in the proper direction. The bones go out to the side, so therefore his hooves grow off to the side.
Wow, interesting. And we have a pig over here. Jonathan. Can you tell us a little bit about Jonathan?
They sold most of the piglets, but there was one that wouldn't sell, and they brought the pig over to us, and come to find out he had a very large inguinal hernia, and he was very sick at the time. He was near death, and luckily we found a vet, actually a vegan vet in Connecticut, who knows pigs very well, and she donated her time and did the surgery to save his life.
Wow.
So now we have a very healthy Jonathan with attitude. 800 pounds of attitude.
I heard he's a favorite among the volunteers here.
Yes, he's one of the big favorites. Big, literally big favorites.